Hey there YouTube, Evil93 here, bringing you something a little bit different today. We're going to do a post-commentary of a couple of the arms matches that I had. Full disclosure, I played a little bit ranked off camera. I know, how scandalous. I actually don't do that often, but whatever. We have a series of 3 matches today against the user Dams, I believe his name is, if I'm mistaken. Hopefully I'm not. Um, but there was some really good play here. We got a little bit cheeky towards the end. And you know what? We're just going to jump right into the first match, first round. Alright, so we have the playback a little bit slow just so I have time to commentate on what I'm going to do. We're playing against Springtron. We have to be careful of his EMP that he puts out. We don't want to have our arms disabled and have ourselves left open. We're doing a good job, at least so far, of staying on the ground and just playing smart, having one arm out at a time. He made the mistake that I make a lot. You think you have time to charge, and you do not. Our boomerang hits, that's honestly one of my favorite moves. Just go straight with the toaster, then, cross curve with the boomerang, and it works out very well a fair portion of the time. He is struggling a little bit against us, but honestly, the Chillas are not the greatest arms to use against Min Min in the first place, because what you really want to do is just knock her down all day, every day. And you know what? With those 2 hits, obviously consecutive hits, you always knock someone down, unless it's like Mechanica or Master Mummy. However, there was a point back in the round a little bit earlier that, you know what, he froze us, and you know what, we were able to survive it. And we dodge his first punch of his rush attack, and we immediately block. My normal instinct, your instinct might say, you know what, jump, just keep moving. If it works for you, that's great. Blocking, unless it's against Funchucks, it really doesn't work well. Thankfully, our arm came back up there just as he was about to grab. Otherwise, we would have lost, and the rush gives us the round. So, match 2, round 2. We're going to use the same arms. He's going to change it up to double toaster, and we're going to try and start off the match same way we do. Drag an arm, get it up, and we're going to try and close the gap a little bit so we can get some close action in there. We've got a nice hit on the boomerang. First hit of the match, makes you feel a little bit good about yourself. And we got to keep an eye on his rush gauge building up there. That is something that I personally need to work on, among the many other things. He's using his deflect a little bit better than he did. And you know what? The fact that he clipped us a couple times in those exchanges let him break our shield right there. And you know what? That's honestly, at this point in the match, not bad. That 1-2 punch, when I get nervous, I jump. That's how I try and get out of situations, and that's a habit that I have to try and break. And as you can see, it cost us about a quarter of our HP right there, which is not the greatest thing for it to do. That grab was unintentional, as many of my grabs are, because I used A and B to punch as opposed to the triggers. And so he puts off his EMP, he has an extended charge, we have to remember to be aware of that. And his rush attack is already back up. So you know what, we have to be a little bit aware of that, and honestly I got cocky, I stayed close, I tried to punch, and we got rocked for it. And you know what, I figure, you know what, I have resigned myself to losing this round. So we're going to save our rush attack unless we, do well, and we need it to win this round and the match. So we're trying to be a little bit cautious here, dodging, weaving, dodging. But you know what, he gets a 1-2 punch around our boomerang, and that gives him round 2. So, round 3, final round of the match. He's going to make a good decision of trying to get in our face early, which actually backfires on him because he walks right into our punch, which was honestly meant just to get him away. So he's going to get his own extended charge, and we are going to do our little dodge and weave. Unfortunately, the fact that my boomerang was coming in as my toaster was out let him get that punch. So, it's going back, doing the same old dance. We are doing a very, very, very good job of staying on the ground, and we actually managed to get the juggle right here, which is amazing for us, and it lets us get our arm back up. So what we're gonna do, I saw that rush coming a mile away. I had the shield coming up even before he pressed it, as you saw. So it seems that this match is going really well for us, or excuse me, this round. But we get in a little bit close, things get a little bit fast, he breaks our arm, and he gets that knockdown on us, which is big. It's very big, because he tries to keep the gap close, preventing us from charging, which is very smart on his part. And like I said last round, when I panic, when I'm in uncomfortable situations, I jump. Like in that punch right there, I should not have jumped, and it just threw off the rest of the rhythm. And the fact that he now has his rush attack up, and he's not giving us a chance to get our arm back, and he's actually doing a very, very, very good job at blocking us, that's going to give him the match round and the match. So I'll see you in the next round. So I mentioned that we get a little bit cheeky later in the matches. This is the second of 3, and he's going to try and come at me as Min Min. I want to go for the Scully because, you know what, I hadn't really used the Scully in a while, and I wanted to give it a shot. But he lands a freeze on me, and he's on a mission to prove that you don't need fire or wind elements to do well against Min Min. And you know what? If this first half of the match here is showing anything, he's disabling our arms, first of all. He's getting some good clips in. But, you know, he's kind of proving his own point here. And we're having a little bit of trouble getting hits on him. I think that second Scully hit was only the second or third hit. And that rush on us, he got the juggle, he got 330 damage. That's huge. I don't know if he meant to grab there, but you know what? That's on him, honestly. And if we want to try and win this match, we need to A, hit a rush attack, which we do right here. It is a great momentum resetter. And we just have to keep playing smart arms. And honestly, looking at his arms, he has the Coolerang and the Chilla, as opposed to my Boomerang and Toaster. I guess he was being a little bit cheeky. But again, he disables our arm right there. And it's things like that that are able to give him just that little bit of edge over us. And that Coolerang hit gives him round 1. So this next round, he tries to come at me with double Scully. And I realize, oh man, we're in luck, because Scully is a light arm, and I don't think that he knows that. So we get to block his arm pretty much at every turn. And he is quickly realizing, oh, this was a mistake. This was a bad idea. But he does land this rush attack on us, although he's not going to land many more hits on us this round because he chose 2 light arms against our 2 medium arms. Although, to his credit, he did not know that we were going to do 2 medium arms, and he may not even know that Scully was a light arm. I don't see many people using Scully, most likely because it is a light arm. So, we're pretty much walking all over him. I've decided it's, at this point, why even bother using our rush attack, because we're not going to need it. We are just doing ridiculously against him. So, and we're keeping the pressure on. What he did last match as Springtron against us, we're keeping the pressure on. We're not giving him a chance to get his arm up, because it's Min Min's principal strength. It's something you need 80% of your matches, 80% of the time of 80% of your time of your matches is Min Min. And you know what? He's decided this round I'm not winning either, so I'm not going to use my rush attack, and that gives us the round. Alright, so the kid gloves are off. I'm going double Toaster. He's back to Boomerang Chilla. And I give him no quarter. I want him down. I want us to be able to get our advantage right from the start. If this guy beats me as a Springtron main, and I'm a Min Min main, and he's beating me as Min Min, I lose any semblance of honor that I ever had. And I saw that Coolerang coming out, and I was like, you know what? I have to use my rush attack, even though my arm is out. And it is just gonna, it's gonna save me some damage, even though I lose some damage on him. So now I've got the distance. I am doing my best not to let him get his arm up. I realized that back then that, oh, that's a little bit distance. I see him charging up. I need to throw out a punch, get him away. That 1-2 punch is great for us. He's trying to grab. He's honestly looking a little tilted. And what I could have done there, I could have absolutely thrown a Toaster shot and just destroyed his life. But I decided to try to be a little bit nicer and guard, which was a little bit safer as well. And now I'm going to be an asshole. I'm just going to go and destroy his life. And you know what? It's great. And we're going to go back. We're going to watch that in slow motion, because I just want to see... it's just so beautiful. I love it. If you thought that last round was cheeky, because he came at me with Min Min. That was pretty arrogant on his part. I'm going to come at him. He tried to take my honor. I'm going to try to take his honor. I'm going to come at him. Springtron, same exact setup. And then we're going to go at it, man. I don't even know what Springtron fully does at this point. I just said, you know what? This guy came for me. I'm going to come for him. And honestly, Springtron's really fun, man. You got to use everything the right way. But right now, at this point, I'm kind of keeping my distance, just kind of feeling Springtron out. I mean, it's been 20 seconds. We haven't landed a hit on each other, even though we're both like halfway to our rush attack. So we're doing a dance. We're doing admittedly a very boring dance because I'm playing very safe. He gets the first hit, which is making me think, you know what? It's it's time to get serious. I can't let this guy. He tried to take me on in my own main, and then he gets the grab. And you know what? I'm getting scared. Maybe this was too cheeky, but that rush attack to block that punch and the fact that he used his in retaliation and panic, it saved me, man. And he breaks our arms a lot. His mistake there was grabbing, because just because one arm is disabled does not mean that we cannot punch. So we punch right through it, and I'm still being very careful. And the reason I don't have the roaster, which was the third arm in his kit, is because I don't have it unlocked for Springman. Otherwise, I'd be going toaster roaster all day, baby, because the roaster is fast as anything, even though it has no homing. But he's getting some good hits. Obviously, he knows the ins and outs of his character a little bit more, because it's his character. But that 1-2 punch really, really, really helps us, and we get another freeze, and then we just barely avoid another punch. The fact that he used his rush attack so far away is really, it's not to his credit, it's unfortunate for him. All I need to do in the next 4 seconds is get a punch. Come on, one punch and it'll give me something. I just need, boom, I land the rush attack, it ends halfway through, we get the round. Alright, round 2, match 3, last round, spoiler alert. We get a nice little EMP off at the start, although we cannot capitalize it. It was at that moment, even though we get boom boom, it was that moment I realized, wait a minute, the EMP is kind of like Min Min's charge in that it gives you an extended charge. Kind of like Min Min, kind of like Max Brass. Whoever you want to compare it to, that's who it's like. So we're going to try and use our EMP as much as possible when we can do it safely, because it does take a little bit longer to charge up than Min Min. Although he's getting some good hits on us, even though we are playing the long game, we are trying to play the safe game. And it's really not paying off for us right now. It's paying off in little fits and spurts, like with that toaster hit. And we try and get in the close game, and we try to use our rush attack. It doesn't really work because he just dodges, and he gets off a throw. And throws, while they're not as good as 1-2 punches, throws still do a lot, and that toaster hit did a lot too. So we got to be careful, especially now that he has his rush attack. So we're going to continue trying to capitalize on the EMP. That was a very lucky deflection on our part. Did not time it like that. But honestly, all we want is a hit here. All we want is a hit. So we're trying to look for it, and eventually we have to keep an eye on our rush meter as well, because if we want to win this match, we have to do 2 things. We have to land a rush attack of our own, and we have to make sure we don't get hit by his rush attack. And it is crunch time now, because there's 25 seconds left, and that EMP luckily gives us a toaster hit. I intentionally went for toaster to get more damage off, because it was very important, and that rush attack that we just landed to parry his toaster and to get that 270 damage, it was extremely, extremely important. But now we need one more hit to get his health below ours in the next 7 seconds. And you know what? That's it. And I decided, you know what? We need to go back. All we need to do is not get hit by his rush attack. So I just guard, and thankfully time runs out, and we win the round. So I hope you guys enjoyed this post-commentary video. If you liked it, please click the like button. If you saw something you really liked or saw something you really didn't like, loved this video, hated this video, saw something you want to include, please leave a comment. It helps out a whole lot. I want to start a dialogue with you guys. I want to make my videos better so you enjoy them more. And if you're not subscribed, the button's right there. It's not going anywhere. You may as well click it. Please do not lick it. But for right now, I've got to go. So, peace out, Cub Scouts.